With the latest on that shocking case of a woman allegedly tossing her two young boys into Cross Lake on Friday. That woman left a note and money for her older daughter.
On September 24th, a 32-year-old mother would drive both of her sons to a bridge and toss them both over. Only one would survive. This is the story of Joshua Black. Our story takes us to Shreveport, Louisiana, which is the third biggest city in Louisiana after Baton Rouge and New Orleans. On September 23rd, Ureka would leave a note for her daughter. The contents of the note isn't known, but what is known is that she loaded her two sons in her van and drove them to Cross Lake Bridge. For reasons unknown, Ureka tossed her 5-year-old son Elijah and her 10-month-old son Joshua over the bridge. She then drove away, headed to Texas. Now, I could not find anything about how the police were made aware that the children were in the lake, but when they did arrive, Elijah was found floating on his back with facial injuries. 10-month-old Joshua Black will be found deceased. The police began to look for their mother, Ureka, and found her stopped in her van in Texas.
The latest on that shocking case of a woman allegedly tossing her two young boys into Cross Lake on Friday. That woman left a note and money for her older daughter. That's according to our sources inside the Shreveport Police Department. And they say that daughter, thought to be 12 or 13 years old, was in the custody of a grandmother. We don't know what the note said. Ureka Black is charged with murder and attempted murder after a baby died and another boy just turning 5 survived. Video from the Love Shreveport Facebook page shows the scene at the rest stop in Wascom, Texas, where an officer spotted her silver Dodge minivan. Wascom's police chief says the officer checked that area after getting an alert to be on the lookout for the van with Texas plates. He says the woman had put a sunscreen on her windshield and covered other windows with towels or blankets and may have been sleeping when they approached. Then he says she was uncooperative.
She wouldn't get out of the van, she wouldn't talk, just really wouldn't communicate with us.
During the investigation, it was found out that Ureka had a long, extensive criminal history. In 2010, Ureka broke in her ex's home, accompanied by her 2-year-old daughter. She was angered by an argument that they had had before and set his floor on fire. Even though she was sentenced to 5 years, she only spent 9 months in prison. In 2017, Ureka admitted to recruiting a 17-year-old into the life of prostitution. She told the teen that she would be able to show her how to do things right, and then in a couple of months, she would be able to afford luxury items. Ureka's criminal history spans over 15 years, and it also includes resisting arrest, trespassing, simple assault, domestic abuse, property damage, possession of marijuana, possession of drugs, aggravated battery, human trafficking, and other charges. But despite her past and her recent actions, her sisters did an interview just to let the public know that Ureka suffers from a mental illness, and they did not want her to be judged.
So you said that you felt like she's been painted in a very negative light over the past few days. What exactly do you want to clear up?
People painting a picture of her being just this terrible person, like she's just a monster, like she just intentionally tried to do this. That's not the case. The most important thing that I want to point out is mental illness.
Ureka Black's sisters say she was burned when she was just 3 or 4 years old.
Head to toe. She needed mental help to get through that, and we didn't have the sources. She grew up feeling alone, not wanted, not loved.
Since then, they say they've tried to get her help for her paranoia, even saying they believe she had undiagnosed mental health issues.
Sometimes you don't want to believe what you see. I'm going to say that. And then when we really did realize something was wrong with her, she left without any of us knowing.
Her sisters say they've been trying to get custody of Ureka's kids, even reaching out to Child Protective Services.
They didn't believe because she could act normal. But my mom's been crying out for help for years.
Now the family says it's about showering Eureka's kids with love.
We just want to thank everyone who came out to show support, and we're gonna give him all the help he needs, and her daughter.
Reporting in Shreveport, Desi.
It is truly unfortunate if Ureka suffered from mental illness, which it seems like she did from her criminal record and, of course, her family's statements. However, I beg the question, does mental illness give you the right or disregard the crime that you have committed? There's a thin line in having mental illness but knowing right from wrong. So I'm going to be very interested in how this case turns out, and I will keep you guys updated. Overall, I just want to continue to pray for Eureka's other 2 children, especially the 5-year-old who had to be thrown off a bridge and suffered injuries at the hands of his mother. And as always, we want to give condolences to the family and rest in peace, Joshua Black.